Hey guys, Gavin here from ultimatereloader.com. I'm very excited in this video to give you all an update on RifleBuilder Pro. If you're a gunsmith or if you're curious about the process, this is the software platform I announced at the SHOT Show, the 2026 SHOT Show. So it has only been a number of months now, and I've been working really hard on the platform, and I have some really exciting updates to share, some live demos, and we've already filmed a rifle build with this as well. So let me get into it. This is what I showed at the SHOT Show this year. This is literally a mock-up of the user experience. And as we walk through this, we can kind of see what I had envisioned. And I had literally put this together in PowerPoint. So this was my way of designing the user experience for the gunsmith and taking a look at what it was that I wanted to build. And so if we go through, we can see here, we've got a chambering job. These are renderings from SolidWorks that I did in 3D. And we've got just a whole bunch of PowerPoint here, literally, that I used to build the experience and to figure out what it was that I wanted to build. So we can see there's a bunch of great dimensions here. And what I did as a follow-up to this is I actually did a rifle build. Our 7 PRC medium action build was done with this same mock-up with real math I had computed by hand and run on the iPad at the lathe. And I thought to myself, this is absolutely amazing. This is going to be really a game changer. So fast forward to today, here it is. I want to walk through this with you real quick. So this is the app running. It is a web app. It connects to a database here on my PC. I've got my development environment, so we're running everything locally. When this goes to the general public, it's going to be deployed to a cloud server, and it will run exactly the same, but it'll be a centralized instance of it running. Okay, so you can see here we have something that looks actually very similar to what I showed in the mock-up. And here we have our rotating control here, the carousel, and I have some data loaded in. So this data is from SAAMI. We can pick a particular cartridge and check this out. We can see this in inches and millimeters. We can go through the different parts of the cartridge chamber and look at different values. We can compute any values we want on the fly here. So this is already a huge leap beyond something like a SAAMI diagram where you have a bunch of information, but it's not all there. It's not interactive. It's not color-coded. You can't quickly switch to millimeters, although they do show millimeters on the chart. So this is what the gunsmith would see when they're going and working through. Then we go to picking the rifle action. Here I have a couple that I've already entered data for here. Igniter long action and igniter short action from BAT. Boom. Here we have the tenon print now. So what you see here is exactly what you're going to be building. And what's notable here is what I had planned to do for my first implementation of this was static scale diagrams with generic leader lines and dimensions. This is actually drawn completely to scale. What you see is what you get here. The threads are to scale. The tenon length and diameters to scale. The chamber is completely to scale as well. And like in the other cases, we can go to millimeters here. Our pitch switches properly. Everything translates from inches to millimeters there. So this is way, way quicker and way beyond what I thought my first internal prototype would look like. And as you can see at the top of the app here, it's called internal beta. And that means that this is ready for my use at the lathe. And it's functional. It's functional end to end. I started with the chambering scenario end to end. And if you look at our 6.8 Western build, this is what I used for that build. The build hasn't been published yet. That video is going to be coming soon. By the time you see this video, it's probably already up. But so back to the app here, we've got a whole bunch of gunsmith user preferences that we can enter here. Stop short distances, under drill diameters, in-feed angle for threading. And of course, this also translates to metric as well. You can see at the top here, we have a calculated end play number. So this is between the end of the barrel tenon and the front of the bolt lugs, and that's a clearance that we care about. This is all to bat machine specs, so they have 0.08 of an inch spec for that. Okay, so moving on, we have some things that we do at the lathe here to get the barrel dialed in and to get everything tightened down and to get prepped for our job. And then, so here we have pre-drill, right? So this is literally exactly what I had envisioned. I took a 115-piece drill index, which has fractional drills, has numbered drills and lettered drills, and it knows every single diameter in that drill index, and it picks the best one that's closest to the calculated pre-drill diameter, and it goes to the one that's under but not over, right? Basically equal to or less in diameter, but the closest one here. If we switch to millimeters, we have a 0.1 millimeter increment in our drill index, and it picks the similar closest drill bit. So what's great about this is we can very clearly see what we're doing at any given point in time. It's not a combined diagram of what we're machining, it's the current step. You'll notice if you look at the diagram here, the cuts are in red, and any anecdotal information that we have on some of the dialogues is in blue. So that gives the gunsmith a really easy opportunity to basically look at their DRO, at the work, to be working the controls, and to know exactly what they're doing because they're looking at those red numbers. Okay, so we're gonna click next here. This is a throat dial in assist. So we know if we want to straddle both ends of the throat area there, at which points we need to do our precision dial. And then we, after we do that dial, we bore that area true, or in millimeters there, switch back to inches. And then we have a boring the lands. Now this is something that some of you would do at the lathe, others wouldn't. If you want to remove the lands where the front of the reamer is going to be hitting when it cuts that neck area, you can do so that the reamer doesn't bounce around. But you could also just as easily skip this step. Okay, so going back, here we have turning the tenon. So you can see here the note at the bottom, if I show that again, leaves 0.02 of an inch for cleanup when cutting the thread relief, right? So we're turning the diameter and the length here in preparation for threading. And I know that when we go to the next step, which is the thread relief, we're going to take that last 0.02 of an inch off. So if we go back, we're at 770. Here we're at 772. So that's just a quick cleanup. And this is another example of how we can do all of the math on the fly. We can optimize every step from start to finish. And that just makes life a heck of a lot better. Okay, so here we've got our threading reference page. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this over here. We've got a not to scale threading tool. This is just a visual reference. We can actually see our predicted infeed at the compound angle that we've selected. So this is just another case where we get some really nice utility here, essentially for free. We have all of the reference information there. The pitch diameter is going to be one of those super critical things that we're going to want to look at with a thread micrometer, that kind of thing. And again, we can switch this to millimeters just as easy here. Okay, so if we go back, now we have This is the big daddy. This is the chambering step when we're going to take that finisher reamer and go in and clean up the chamber and apply the final geometry. So we have calculated the plunge, and that's from when the major diameter corner of the chamber reamer goes into the tenon. We can use a loop. We can get within a couple thousandths there. Take most of the reamer plunge, do a depth check with a ring gauge and a depth micrometer, for instance, and then calculate our remaining plunge. And if we're using a tailstock DRO like I do, that's going to give you the opportunity to check those numbers and figure out exactly what the tailstock DRO needs to read when you get to that exact final depth that you're checking with the depth micrometer. So that's this page here, when I did my 6/8 Western, was hugely helpful. And the math is dead on. It just makes it really easy to do that work so much easier. And then we've got chamfering the chamber entrance, and then we've got pin gauging to make sure that the entrance to the chamber is not oversized, and that kind of thing. Okay, so that is a live demo of the app. What I also wanted to do was kind of show you all what this actually looks like when it came to doing the chambering job. So I'm just going to go ahead here and kind of talk over this and guide you through the process here. So this is exactly what you just saw, except we're picking 6/8 Western here. We've got all of our dimensions. I happen to run it on this laptop. When I can deploy it to the cloud, I'll be running this on an iPad is kind of what I plan to kind of take it full circle from that mock-up that I showed. Okay, so again, picking the action, previewing what it is that we're going to build. Same exact idea as what I showed you there. Different cartridge, but same overall idea. Okay, so here we're going to mount the barrel on the lathe. We're going to get things kind of tightened down. Got the barrel on the lathe now, so here I'm doing part of a rough dial with a 4-jaw chuck. You can use definitely whatever you want for this, obviously based on what equipment you're using and that kind of thing. Right, I think I timed this, it was 36 seconds or something like that for the rough dial. Okay, so going back, there's our pre-flight checklist. We've got our drill. You can see here I'm using my tailstock DRO, which I zeroed that when I had the drill bit just entering at that major diameter there. Go ahead and do the rest of the pre-drill here. Here we can see what the tailstock DRO reading is. We can also see the RifleBuilder Pro screen reference page there showing us exactly what we need to do. Now we're transitioning to final dial. And this is a process that is tedious, but you know, is important before you go and do your pre-drill. So that's what they're boring through the pre-drill here. That's what we're doing here. Skipping the middle part there, but we know exactly what diameter we need to bore the pre-drill to be exactly under on the shoulder major diameter of the actual rifle chamber. So here I'm boring off the lands with a straight flute reamer, and I can use the same exact math here, the numbers compared to if I was using a single point boring bar. If I have such a boring bar, it's kind of hard to find something that's going to actually fit in and have clearance. So here we are withdrawing. Okay, going on to the next screen, the tenon. Here we've got a triple view showing a few things. Try to capture the DRO. Apologies, it's a little fuzzy there, but it gives you an idea of, you know, ideally you have your device mounted right next to the DRO, your iPad or whatever it is, and so that you're just basically looking at numbers here, not down to the bench and back up. Okay, so here we are. We've moved on to turning the tenon, and now we're on to cutting the thread relief. And instead of applying a delta like I might have, I could just use the actual diameter reading. That's a VNMG insert that I'm using down there, and I can face turn the tenon and cut the thread relief all with one tool, which I totally love. Okay, facing the shoulder. This is that last 2/1000 of an inch. You can see the steel wool peeling off there. It's pretty cool. Always satisfying to see that kind of fine chips coming off. Love that. Okay, so here we are. We're getting ready to thread. Double check everything. Set the lathe up for this. So you can see here I'm taking my first check pass at about 1,000th deep. We've got the thread pitch gauge here. This happened to be 18 threads per inch on this particular action, and going ahead and doing passes for threading. The threading is pretty satisfying on a manual lathe, and it's even better when you have a guide like this app. Okay, so here we are with the chambering reamer. I've got a special tool for cleaning off the reamer, so I tend to use this method when I'm doing ultra precision chambering as opposed to pressure flush. I've done both. I would probably switch back and forth depending on my setup and what it is I'm accomplishing it with it. So here we are taking our first pass. I'll typically go about a 1/2 inch or so. And so the app actually comes in a bit more handy when we get towards the end of things, which we can see here. Here we're kind of just coming up on what will be one of our last cuts.
Maybe 430.
And so I've got a tailstock DRO reading, and that tailstock DRO reading is with respect to the reamer plunge, which I've got showing on the app. Here I am doing a depth micrometer check on my go gauge, checking to see where my chamber depth is going to land. We've got a headspace check. Go goes, that's good. How about no go? Let's see what happens here. Oh, it does not go. Okay, so headspace landed. That's awesome. And so that kind of finishes out that. We're going to go ahead and do our chamfering of the entrance to the chamber and do our pin gauging. Nice to know exactly where we need to go on that. And here's the finished product. Okay, so that's my update on RifleBuilder Pro internal beta. It is to the point where I can use it end to end functionally for chambering. It is a game changer. There is a limited amount of cartridge data uploaded. There's a minimal amount of rifle action data. I'm currently working this week just to give you a status update on counterbore barrel tenons and the corresponding protruded bolt nose like Remington 700 type design. And that will enable that, and the profile number 1, which is the straight without the counterbore, will cover almost all of the really important actions. Then there's going to be things like cone breach or, straight tenon with bearing surface, which is where you've got an unthreaded section that's the action the receiver slips over to align things, that sort of thing. And so what's next? I'm going to be adding cartridges. I'm going to be adding rifle actions, and I'm going to work on focused feature work. And then I will have a limited public beta. This is like 5 or 10 people and people that I've hand selected who I want to co-engineer with and get specific feedback from, a cross-section, a variety of different types of professionals like instructors and independent gunsmiths and industry people, that sort of thing. So if you're interested in building rifles yourself, I think RifleBuilder Pro will be a game changer. If you're getting into the game or if you're already in the game, if you have specific feedback or thoughts about what I just showed, please drop a comment because I'd love to know what you think of it. And if there's anything obvious here that I'm missing that I should consider early in the game here. And if you want to know more about RifleBuilder Pro, go to riflebuilderpro.com. Make sure you subscribe for updates. We have a newsletter. And then also you can apply to be a partner if you're in the industry. Muzzle brakes, barrel blanks, rifle actions, all of those sorts of things. We'd love to engineer solutions for you and figure out how we can incorporate your products into the software platform. So that concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. Hey guys, Ultimate Reloader Pro is now live. You can sign up and join today. Ultimate Reloader Pro is our new exclusive membership-based community where you'll find things like downloadable resources that you can print out and use in the garage or at the range. You're gonna find exclusive videos weekly for Ultimate Reloader Pro subscribers. We've got a monthly live stream and a private discussion forum where we can answer your questions and we can discuss topics together. If you want to check it out, go to ultimatereloader.com/pro today. Also, if you haven't done so, subscribe for our newsletter, ultimatereloader.com/subscribe.